Hey guys, welcome to BP, the Bible Perspective. Gayle King has poked a bear, and just so happened it was a black bear. But has the criticism gone too far? Now, before we get into it, please like and share these videos and subscribe to BP, the Bible Perspective. That's BP, the Bible Perspective. Long-term friend of Oprah Winfrey, Gayle King, has recently stepped into a storm. Because of her questioning of Kobe Bryant, long-term friend Lisa Leslie, there's a couple of thoughts that I have on this. Now, many of you may not realize that Gayle King is a reporter. She started off her career as a reporter, and that's how even her and Oprah became friends working for, I believe, at the TV station many years ago. And at best, she was a mediocre reporter. Nothing big. Probably if she hadn't forged a friendship with Oprah, she probably just would have been maybe a local newscaster. And that's not throwing shade. I'm just saying that, her friendship with Oprah opened a lot of doors for her. Now, that's not to say that she hasn't made some good choices. Like, for example, she has scored this, the now famous interview with R. Kelly when he had his outburst, and she famously sat there, just sat still saying, Robert, she was just calm. But in this recent interview with Kobe Bryant's longtime friend, Lisa Leslie, she asked a series of questions. Well, she asked a question about Kobe's rape charge. Now, one of the problems that I see with that, and I listened to the interview, was asking the question itself probably wasn't the worst thing, but she kept pushing because, as reporters do, I believe she was trying to get that clickbait. She was trying to get that statement, that not gotcha, but aha, right? And I think she went too far because she kept pressing it. Well, the backlash was immediate and swift. Black Twitter lit into her, and then even harsher quippings from several black men, namely Snoop Dogg, who called her out of her name. Now, I totally disagree with that. I don't think anyone should be called out of her name. But here's what I want to say is that let's back up and let's kind of understand really why that unfolded the way it did. Now, I'm going to come back to dealing with Gayle's. What I'm going to say is, why did she think she needed to answer that question? But the media insatiable now drive to be number one, to be the first to report. Reporters, they have always longed to be that one to get that scoop. Okay? And they do that under the guise of freedom of press, and the freedom, by the way. And by the way, do you know that the Constitution, it doesn't guarantee the press the freedom to know. It guarantees the press the freedom to exist without government intervention. Now, the media over the decades has manipulated that towards we have a right to know. That is not what the Constitution guarantees. I don't have a right to know what time you take a dump in your bathroom. And yet, the media would say, "Hey, if I want to take a long scope, lens and point it towards your bathroom, I have a right to do that." No, you don't. And so, but at the other hand, you have to understand what drives that insatiable drive: profits, money. but even more so, what drives to profits and money? Our insatiable appetite to know, right? Our insatiable appetite for gossip. We want to know our favorite stars. So now we come back to the media. We come back to this idea that we have to know these questions. And so people are starting to come to Gayle's defense somewhat. And they were saying, well, she did her job as a reporter. But did she? Now let's come back to Gayle. Did she have to ask that question? Did Gayle really have to ask the question right then? Now, as other people have pointed out, I think that she had plenty of opportunities to ask that question over the years because she knows Kobe, or at least knew him. And but of course, being Oprah friends, right? Speed dial, she could have called him, right? Gayle could probably almost get any interview she wants. Right? Or let me put it this way, because she's Oprah's friend, she had a very good chance at getting it. And that's not to say that she hadn't begun to forge her way, you see. And now it's kind of stifled, but because of the Kobe thing. But, she was getting these Barbara Walters-like interviews. So I'm going to go back to the question. Did she have to ask that question right then and there? For example, me watching that, I don't care. I didn't really care about those rape allegations. And I wonder if a lot of people cared about the rape allegations. She wanted to bring it up. Now, like I say, she could have asked once, but she kept asking. She kept trying to, well, you were her friend. You was his friend. You would have known. You would have known. Leave it alone. I think at the time, the family hadn't even received the bodies back. So what relevance did asking about the rape charge have anything to do with that? I understand journalistic training and all that kind of stuff, but just because you have it doesn't mean you have to ask. Let me give you a hypothetical. And I want to emphasize, this is a hypothetical. Let's suppose Oprah passed away. And then let's suppose a reporter is interviewing Gayle because, after all, Gayle, everyone would want Gayle's interview because what? You know Oprah. You're best friends with Oprah. And of course, right along next to Oprah would be Stedman. But really, you don't think that reporters would be going after Gayle for an interview? Of course they would be. And suppose that a reporter, just hours after her passing, maybe even the body hadn't even been released, and they asked, well, Gayle, what about those lesbian rumors that swirled around you two for years? Now, why would a reporter ask that? Gossip, right? Do you think, did the reporter honestly think that they're going to get an answer, an admission? Like that cold red moment, like in the movie A Few Good Men. Did you order the cold red, right? No, you're not. But see, you want that. And I think that's where the mistake was made. And see, one of the problems, too, is the media. We give the media too much power. That's what drives them, because they are driven for profits to give you information or us information. Why? Because, let's be truthful, we want it. Let's be truthful. Wouldn't we, if I was a reporter asking Gayle, another listener, would I want to know if they were secretly lesbian lovers? Would I want to be that reporter that finally get it out? But does it have to be asked then? I think that's the mistake. Now, another thing is, let me ask this question. Are we too hard on Gayle? In other words, hey, there are other outlets that are just as bad. How come we're not mad at TMZ? Do you realize that the majority of stories of TMZ are about black gossip, black people, as if there's not a lot of white people that's doing stuff? Why does TMZ focus on black people? And that's my particular opinion and rant. I also think that in some cases that people are taking the opportunity, okay, to vent because there has been complaints from people that Oprah and Gayle have been focusing on black men. That might have some merit to it. In other words, when you got a story on black men, let's ring them through. But yet, now you see all these pictures with Harvey Weinstein, Oprah and Gayle hugged up and kissed up on Harvey Weinstein. Why aren't they going after them? For that matter, there was a famous lady, Gloria Aldrich's daughter, Lisa Bloom, right? Champion. She was the one between her and their mother, right? They were going after black men with all of these Me Too. And yet Lisa Bloom was soft on Harvey, which later we found out she had a movie deal with him. Okay, so I think we give the media too much power in our lives, that we want them to feed our gossip nature. And I think that becomes a problem. But that's my rant, guys. That's my perspective, okay? I'll tell you until next time. See you then.